Welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast, strategies that help entrepreneurs build reputable and profitable brands. Here's your host, Henry Kaminsky Jr.
Is your content bingeable? That is today's topic of conversation. What's going on, guys? Henry Kaminsky here, the Brand Doctor, with another podcast for you. For those folks on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that little bell as well to make sure that you get notified every time a new video is posted. Everybody over there on iTunes and Spotify and Spreaker, welcome to another show. This show is dedicated to helping you create better content to help you generate the right leads and attract the right customers. I'm going to walk you through sort of a behind-the-scenes look on a new strategy that I'm putting together in my business that has proved to work way better than what I was initially doing. So my copywriter and I sat down as we started to strategize a new funnel strategy for 2020. And we did some research up front. So I have a video. It's 26 minutes long, and it's one of the biggest lead generation sources that I have right now going for my unique designs business. And what we found was after the 7-minute mark, 76% of people stopped watching the video. So we had to do some exploring there. We need to figure out, well, what the hell did I say at that 7-minute mark that made everybody drop off? So when we dove into the YouTube analytic, we noticed that right at that 7-minute mark, it's when I finished my backstory part of the conversation. And we realized that, okay, they're either losing interest or they want to learn more about my backstory. And what we realized was right at that 7-minute mark, I start to talk about my first case study. The problem is when everybody drops off, they don't even get to see that case study. So that's a huge problem. So I immediately started to think, okay, how does my audience like to digest their content? And what I realized was they don't like big chunks of content. Some of them do. But the majority of them want bite-sized pieces that are easily consumable and digestible, and they will binge watch 4 or 5 8-minute videos before they would even click play on a 26-minute video. And what we realized was people do actually pay attention to how long the video is. And if it's a long one, chances are they may skip that and go with one that's a little bit more short in format. So what we decided to do was this. We didn't change the video much at all. We kept the 26-minute video as it was. However, I had my video editor chop that video up into 4 bite-sized pieces. And we took it a step further because I said, all right, what I want to do is leave them hanging at the end. I want them curious. I want them excited to get to that next video. I don't want them to consume everything in one video anymore. So what we did was at the end of each video, we did a fade to black. And I was like in the middle of a sentence and I would just fade to black. And then there would be this cool little outro. It was like 4 seconds long that said, want to watch video number 2? Click here. And then the end screen on YouTube would pop up. And then video number 2 would be there. They click it. And then now they proceed on to video number 2. And I did that for 3 times. And then the 4th video was the end video, which had a call to action at the end of that video. So what we did was we left a little mini cliffhanger at the end of every video to keep them watching. And that seems to be a much bigger hit when it comes to creating a piece of content that is bingeable. Because we got to think, why is YouTube so popular? Why is Disney Plus so popular? I remember this when I was watching on Disney Plus, that Mandalorian. I mentioned this in a previous video, the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus. They were 30 minutes long, just about. And at the end of every episode, man, they left you hanging so bad, like you couldn't wait to watch the next episode. So that's what we need to start thinking about in our content, to create that curiosity, to keep them engaged, to keep them excited, to keep them wanting more. So I challenge you guys to take a look at some of the content that you've put out that may be in longer format and chopping it down into little mini episodes and putting that out there, and maybe creating a series out of a longer piece of content that, like I mentioned here, and creating a funnel around it. So I'm going to go one step deeper here to give you an idea of what we're doing. So what we decided to do was, we're not going to be asking for opt-ins to watch this series anymore. Okay? Because what I found was, people are more likely to share content that they found that was not gated versus content that you had to sign up for. Okay? So when you hit this page, it's just going to say, watch the miniseries. You click play, you click the call to action button, and it takes you to that video. And excuse me, when you watch that video, all you have to do is stay put, and it'll just bring you right through video 1, video 2, video 3. What I realized was, not asking for that opt-in up front shows a lot of confidence in my content and in my expertise. So I don't need your email up front. I really don't. I want you to really consume the content, and I want you to get the most out of the content. And if you find it valuable, I'm going to give you another opportunity to opt in to get another piece of content that is also valuable on that page that has the video on it. So that is my strategy moving forward. That's my new funnel strategy moving forward. And I can guarantee you, I'm already seeing the views go way up because I have the analytics in YouTube, and I'm watching the views on each video, right? 1 through 4. I'm watching them to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the 4th video is getting just as many views as the first video. So I know they're watching it straight through. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I think if you start to think like this, think the Netflix mentality, think these series that people are watching 7 hours on a Saturday night, or 7 hours on a weekend, or even 12 hours on a weekend, where they're just binging these episodes and videos and series. How can we leverage that mentality and logic into our marketing? So I want to leave you with that, guys. Hope you got some value out of this. If you've got questions or concerns, drop them in the comments below if you're on YouTube. And if you haven't written a review yet on iTunes, I read every single one and I shout you out if you leave one. So make sure that you do that as well. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. And if you haven't checked out this series yet, go to Unique Designs with a Z at the end, not an S, .net/scale your biz. And you will see this logic and strategy in action. So have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next episode real soon. Take care.
You've been listening to the Brand Doctor Podcast with Henry Kaminsky Jr. To get your appointment with the doctor, visit Brand Audit at www.uniquedesigns.net.